Hello everyone, this is INTP Files. I haven't been on for a long time, so I thought I'd make a new video about. So at the moment, I'll just give you a bit of a background. So I've been working at a nursing home for about 4 months, and I was dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. So I'm looking at ways to overcome that, so in the future I can enter a similar environment and not be phased. I think that'd be an awesome feat. But this is going to be a gradual process. I did go to a Buddhist monastery earlier in the year. I was speaking to a counsellor through work, and my friend who is doing a stress management course, and she's giving me tools and action steps to help overcome stress. So what I want to do is significantly reduce stress in people's lives. I think that'd be awesome, because that's been my battle, also with anxiety, and the stress and the anxiety feeds into self-doubt and self-criticism, which also feeds into sadness and depression. So I think by working on one pillar of struggle or stress, will help knock over those other pillars, because there's always a reason why you're depressed, and so I find it hard not to go off on tangents, but okay, so I'm just going to go with it and hope. And the general direction of this video is to be helpful with learning about stress. So this is kind of a journal of where I'm at, where I'm going, yada yada, what I've learnt. Okay, so sometimes I'll get in a very low mood, and what happens is you get very stuck in your thoughts. So instead of trying to suppress your thoughts and distract your thoughts, you'll find you'll have bugger all physical energy. So you're like, oh well, I just can't even be bothered to go for a walk to feel better. So in this state, this is like level 0, like rock bottom. So what you want to do is notice your body and relax any tension, because it's so hard to relax your mind. As you'd know, being in this state. So relax your body where you can. Notice, bring your awareness into your body. Eckhart Tolle talks about the inner body. See if you can notice that. Look into Eckhart Tolle, he helps. So that's the first step. If you can't, the next step is exercise. That's a general rule of thumb. Just taking a deep breath there from not talking too much and not breathing enough reminds me of a great practice. Another tool in my kit that I've taken up lately is yoga. I went to a yoga instructor. You can find a yoga instructor and you can ask them for yoga therapy, which means I'm one-on-one, because I found going to group classes, I can follow the poses that they're doing, but when you do one-on-one, they can adjust simple things in your poses and it'll make a huge difference. So say to yourself, okay, for 10 weeks, I'm going to do a daily practice I get from a yoga teacher. Yoga helps you flexibility, stress, brings you more in the moment. So it's like meditation in movement. Some people would call it that. So that's another tool you can look into. I haven't tried cognitive behavioural therapy. I'm not sure if I will. So there's an array of things you can look into for tools by psychologists. So if you choose to do that, that's a path. A friend of mine thinks CBT is too hard on your mind. You can look up EFT on YouTube, Emotional Freedom Technique. I still am interested in MBTI, but how I see it is I want to live a similar path to the Buddhist principles of ending suffering. I don't know if it can be completely ended, but it can be significantly reduced. I like to look at it in that way. How can we significantly reduce suffering? Because it's possible. For me, another problem is having strong backbone values to live by. It's something I want to develop. So that's something I'm looking into. Yeah, so diaphragmatic breathing. In my program, there's, say you breathe in for 4 seconds and you put a weight just below your sternum, like on the top of your ab muscles, the top of your ab muscles. Okay, so you breathe in, focusing on that point for 4 seconds. Like, you want your breath, my yoga teacher said, your breath to be like long and deep. Whereas you don't want to be like expanding, like you don't want to force it. You want to be just calm, long and deep breaths. And then release the breath. About a finger width, like 2 finger widths like that, below your belly button. That point. So your belly button's here, that point there, about below your belly button. Notice that going down as you exhale. That's a great technique. So you have your sympathetic nervous system, which is stimulated during stress, which stimulates your fight or flight, which is natural, goes back to our ancestors. But when you do this diaphragmatic breathing, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxation response. A friend of mine just spoke to me about the 4-7-8 technique. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 7, you breathe out of your mouth for 8. And that's really good for stress. Other things for stress is have a hot bath with Epsom salts. That'll relax you, magnesium. Go outside, do some earthing, bare feet on the sand, preferably with some water. It'll fill your body with positive electrons and get the negative ones out. Help balance out your system, relax the nervous system. A great simple pose from yoga to relax your nervous system is legs up the wall. So you can Google that. My yoga teacher said your awareness is here and your mind is here, and your mind's always doing this, but as you meditate more and become more still and calm, you become more here and not in here. Most people go around in here thinking they're this when they're this. So the more you come back to awareness, the less you are controlled by your mind, which always wants more and will make you feel enslaved. I feel like I'm just a beginner to meditation. So when I go to the monastery, I'm happy to just be a beginner, because I feel like it's always a learning curve. Simple things like drinking a lot of water, that's actually a huge problem. Like, even though we're always reminded, keep that as a high priority, drinking lots of water. Lifting weights is great for stress and anxiety. Lifting weights, if you're a female, you won't get bulky, you'll get toned and fit. So don't worry about getting bulky, you won't. The thing with MBTI is you got to question whether it is concrete. it seems like it's a strong pattern of behaviour, but also, okay, so MBTI is here, but also consider neuroplasticity is here, and how the brain can change through experiences and thoughts and beliefs, etc. So don't take it too seriously. MBTI still believe that you can become who you want to be, etc. Another cool piece of advice is looking at experiences as a happening, not a happening to me. This helps weaken the victim mentality, and yeah, pretty much it'll help you not take everything personally. I'm going to finish on the note of check out the book The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's the principles to personal freedom. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. So he says if you follow these four, you'll have personal freedom. And remember, practice is more important than reading. Awesome. Thank you guys. Cheers.